Your eyes don't shine, don't shine. Don't shine. They were mine. Now your words don't shine. They were mine. Now
All right, guys, welcome back to another Let's Talk. Today, I am super pumped to have the Generative AI team here today. And with the team, we have ZK Brain and we have Cobb. So whoever wants to start, guys, go ahead, introduce yourselves, introduce the project, and we'll go from there, please.
Great. Thanks so much, Brian, and appreciate the, so happy to be here. Appreciate the forum with Legacy Capital. I just wanted to kind of have a quick shout out. Jay, thanks so much. You've been, fantastic, an absolute hustler, grinding away all the time. Also, we got a lot of people here from our community, see a lot of familiar faces. We wouldn't be here without our community. So it's just absolutely fantastic. I think this morning we just cracked over 1,200 members on our TG. We launched like less than a month ago. Haven't really put anything into any marketing or any paid calls or anything like that. So it's really good to see like the organic growth. So thanks again. I'm ZK, been running a dev shop for many years, from Web 2 to Web 3. We just came off of a successful B2B enterprise AI exit. This was in the commercial aviation space. So it was a mission critical application that was related to computer vision and machine learning. It's running across multiple continents. So we've been in the AI space for a while. So it's, and the team itself, in terms of what we've produced with Generativ, has been around for a while. We know each other IRL, and I've been working with Cobb for almost 8 years. We met at a co-working space, and yeah, it's been a fruitful relationship, and we're really excited about the future. Cobb will introduce himself and tell you a little bit about a Generativ.
Hey, morning, everyone. Thanks, ZK. Yeah, as ZK said, he was kind of running his dev shop. I was running a similar dev shop. We met at a co-working space about 8 years ago, and started working together and just kind of contracting work back and forth, and eventually it just kind of made sense to put it under one roof and merge our efforts, and we've been working together ever since. Ultimately, we're builders and shippers. We've worked on many projects, some successful, and we're thankful for that. Really, our past work in AI has really allowed us to understand where the industry's going, where kind of we see AI trending towards, and that's really how it came up with the idea for Generativ, just based on what we had kind of seen going on behind the scenes. And I think with that, we'll kind of get right into it. So
Awesome.
Generativ is really a decentralized AI app store. You had it open there earlier, but if you want to throw it up again when you have a second, really what the focus of the platform today is, we allow users, and this is just literally anybody with a wallet, to generate art from our catalog of text to image models. Right now, let me explain, because not everyone has probably seen this before. Maybe you have seen it, but you haven't really done it yourself. You enter a prompt, right, and it could be literally anything. It could be a picture of a monkey dressed as a pirate. You enter that in, and the AI will actually go and generate an image, representing what you've asked it to create, kind of creating beautiful art. there you can actually see there's some recent collections, recently listed tokens. So this is people on our platform making NFTs and putting them up for sale. That's exactly what the platform does today. You might be wondering why they're all pictures of monkeys dressed as pirates. That's because we're currently having every day we have a competition, based around a theme. We did an AMA earlier this week with Shipwreck Cove. So that's why it's pirate themed at the moment. But every day we have a new challenge. The prize is 0.1 ETH. So if you're interested in that, definitely come take a look at it in our Telegram. But yeah, that's really the base of the product that we have out today. It's also entirely gasless, so it doesn't cost anything to put an NFT up. You have to connect a wallet. It can be totally a fresh, brand new wallet with no ETH, no tokens, nothing in it. If you're concerned about those kind of things, so you just hook up a wallet and do a couple signatures, and you're live and you're able to post art.
Yeah, I was playing with this a little bit earlier today, and I was having a bit of fun with it. I like it. And I like that you just mentioned also that you guys have a lot of community giveaways, because I've listened to a bunch of AMAs you guys are doing. Community seems to be your number one support and your direction. So I try and preach this to every project that we help. Community is the only thing that's going to drive your project. You could have the best project out there with all the bells and whistles, but if you don't have a community behind you helping you push, it's not going to go anywhere. So I like you guys do this giveaway. And how do the votes go? You guys just kind of do a poll. How does that go?
Exactly. So we kind of pick the top ones, and then the community, it's an anonymous poll, and the community picks the winner.
Cool. So actually, on that topic, I'm going to do a giveaway today for anyone that's listening in this AMA right now. And I want you guys to go on this website right now, create your own NFT, and post it in our chat. I'll have the team and I pick one winner, and I'm not sure what the prize is going to be. We'll probably do like 0.1, 0.2 BNB, something like that. But I just want to see what you guys come up with. So just post your NFTs, go on the website, generate something, and then the team and I will pick which one we think is the best one. So
amazing.
I want to add that AMA here just to see what goes on.
I was actually thinking maybe the theme should be an ape in a suit in a boardroom.
I like it. Let's go. That's the theme today, guys.
LFG.
Love it. So, okay, guys, let's, so how long have you guys been actually working on the project? I know you guys have known each other for about 8 years now. How long has the project itself been built up? And what do you see the longevity of this project? Do you guys plan on taking on open seas? Do you guys plan on doing a lot more promoting towards that, or do you want to promote towards your own?
Yeah, we've been working on it since late 2022 there. And I mean, we've been in AI for a while, like following along early beta for DALL-E, Disco Diffusion, even earlier than that with some of the diffusion models that came out there. But actually kind of like putting a real effort into coming up with our own product. We really started in late December. In terms of the roadmap, this is just like a start. We wanted to kind of identify a couple items, that there was a lot of like AI/crypto kind of crossovers, but what we saw was these projects were kind of just taking open source like AI and not really kind of integrating it into a Web3 play. And that's the reason why we wanted to kind of ship this quickly, because it truly is, an AI play in the crypto space with real like Web3 foundations of that actual intersection. And we wanted to actually show the community that we can actually deliver, not build up a bunch of hype. So we shipped that really quick, less than 3 weeks. In terms of the roadmap, it's very healthy. Like we're just absolutely starting here. This is not an kind of text to image NFT play. We're not planning on just kind of stopping here. You had mentioned OpenSea, and I've kind of mentioned before, like I really welcome other text to image open source AI models being developed, and we'd be happy to host even OpenSea's AI model if they ever create that. It is kind of interesting there. I don't think OpenSea could totally pivot. They got a ton of backlash. I won't kind of get into the details on the royalty side of things, but if anyone's following along, like, the backlash on artists with Blur and OpenSea and not collecting royalties. I think if they opened up AI tools, the backlash that they would get from their core, one size fits all artist community would be probably 10, 100 times X bigger. So I don't know if they can kind of fit that under their brand, but if they do, absolutely, completely welcome them. We're looking at trying to kind of change the game here, not try to play on the same playing field by making these AI models open source. We want to improve the models and actually support the model creators so that they're compensated and incentivized to build out better models. And I've seen it before in technology for quite some time with the open source space, where even Linux, they completely uprooted and changed like the server game against Microsoft. Microsoft was forced to embed like their own Linux kernel and support within their system. So it absolutely changed things, changed the model. I think we have an opportunity to do that here with AI and crypto.
Oh, I absolutely agree with that. I think you guys would be much bigger, and I already read that you guys give your rewards immediately, your royalties paid out immediately. A lot of platforms don't do that. They have to go through a lot of checks to see if the art's actually been if the art is actually from that artist or not, right? So on that topic, this art obviously has to come from somebody. Is there any kind of security feature, any kind of breach of contracts that some artists might have, or is this something that you guys, since you're using your AI, there's no need for that?
I wouldn't say that there's no need for it. It's actually an interesting conversation, right? So the first part of it is a lot of the art is generated on our platform from an AI model that's open source, right? So in that way, we do know the provenance of it. We know where it came from. We were kind of there when the user actually made it, right? But the conversation goes deeper than that, and this is really part of the inception of why we're doing this is we have to understand where these AI models came from, these big text to image models. Big companies like Stability AI, they've essentially scraped the internet and pulled every image you can find across ArtStation, all these big platforms, and have trained AI models to actually produce it. So there's a lot of artist work already contained in them. And a lot of artists felt like, hey, they didn't really consent to that, and there's actually no means of compensation, right? They've kind of packaged their art in this AI model, and they're just straight out of luck, unfortunately. A couple actual open lawsuits at the moment against these big companies. So we saw that, and we thought, well, why does the business model need to be that way? Like, what if AI artists or artists in general could make their own AI models and have a way to monetize them, right? And that's really how we landed at it, right? And that's what we're building here is a system where artists can make their own AI models that represent their style. They have upload all their past work and say anything that's produced by this model is kind of similar to my work, and people can use it and collaborate with it. And then when it gets posted up and sold, they get a royalty for it.
Yeah, I think it's awesome, man. I love what you guys are building here. There's some really cool NFTs here that some of your community members have created. And I think a lot of people are going to jump on ship soon and follow this. So I'm happy you guys are ahead of most people, because there's a lot of other AI projects out there that haven't even been this far. They claim to be the next big AI project, but you guys actually are showing that you have that capability of doing so. So I'm happy that you guys decided to bring your project here and share it with our community. Yeah, this is awesome. And so you guys launched how long ago? Sorry, you guys launched on
the token launched the 14th of Feb, and then the platform launched a week later, 21st, and then we've been live ever since. And we've officially actually come out of beta on Thursday. So we're very proud of that.
Beautiful.
Everything felt stable, and we're really production ready. So we're happy to drop the beta tag.
Yeah, that's awesome. And the fact that you guys were able to drop it in a relatively quick manner, again, a lot of other projects can't do that. They always keep beta for months and months and months. So, yeah. I see you guys found a floor already. Big spike, obviously, all the hype, and now everyone's kind of consolidated a bit. But your floor is sitting nice at 1 million. You guys are launched on ETH, which is again very bullish. What else we got here?
Yeah, actually, we should talk about our kind of plan on how, like, we talked about where these AI models come from, but how does an image actually get generated, and how we see that being decentralized. So, to be a proper decentralized protocol, right now we are running these models on our own infrastructure. We're kind of doing the work to actually make these images. It is quite GPU intensive, so it does cost a lot of resources. But the long-term vision here is that we actually decentralize that work, so anybody can participate. Anybody with a GPU produce these images and contribute to a network and actually earn some token based off of that. We don't have a lot of details posted up for that at the moment. We're currently working on a POC there, but eventually the plan is to have all of this decentralized, so anybody can post up a model, anybody can run jobs on the model and generate images, and the whole thing becomes this censorship resistant decentralized network.
Yeah, I like it. Let's talk a little bit about like what the difference between your beta model was to your live model now. What differences have you guys changed, and are you guys going to be adding more onto your final product now?
For sure. So if you actually get your little drop down there, you see Open Journey V4. So when we launched, we only had 4 models. Now we actually have 8 models on the left there, and we're continually adding to our model catalog, as well in terms of features. Coming out of beta, we've added a Twitter sales bot, and we behind the scenes we're working on an NSFW categorization. So you simultaneously want to kind of support that content, but at the same time, not have it prominent on the homepage, let's say, unless you want to see that type of content. So we are actively working on that as well.
Yeah. Just to kind of highlight with.
Go ahead.
Sorry, Brian. Just to kind of highlight, yes, since launch, this isn't like the complete list, but we've basically opened up free minting as an option. That was, one of our community members wanted to drop a 800 NFT collection and suggested that that's near. He's in the audience. Open editions, so you can kind of put unlimited amount of copies for sale. You kind of were just on that AI model page. We've had 8 since we've launched. There's going to be plenty more that are going to come out. And yeah, since coming out of like the beta, like Cobbs mentioned, the Twitter sales bot, the NSFW, we're probably going to be launching a degenerate mode at some point soon. And people can kind of opt in for that. And there's an exciting feature that's going to drop probably next week.
Awesome. So with this platform, I see you guys are offering 0 fees. Is that sustainable? Obviously, you guys will probably have to charge fees eventually. What kind of fees are those going to be? And what can people expect from that?
So like I had mentioned before, eventually this will be decentralized. So there's kind of 2 ways people will be able to generate images, and one is either provide their own GPU as a resource to do their own artwork, so there would still be little or no cost there, or B, contribute to the network and earn some kind of token for that, some kind of incentive, let's say, to provide that power, or of course by essentially credits, as we said in our white paper, that you would use to generate it. Now, that being said, we don't plan to turn that on for the foreseeable future. We love what people are creating on our platform, and the cost of doing so. We're currently subsidizing that, so there's no plan at this time to turn that off.
Wow, that's actually pretty amazing. Again, a lot of projects you don't see trying to gouge their community. That's a very big plus in my books, guys. Congrats on that. 5% sale, 5% tax, very, very normal. What other marketing plans do you guys have set up right now? I know you guys mentioned earlier that you haven't really spent much on marketing. Can you kind of dive a little bit into that? You guys plan on putting out more articles? Do you guys plan on reaching out to other big NFT communities to try and bring in their user base? Because I think once they really dig into what you guys are building here, this thing can blow up like massively.
Yeah, absolutely. We're still kind of taking that grassroots approach. I believe we do and have since launch identified that we have some different market segments. Token holders, they have a slightly different personality, and comparatively to our artist community. They are also a completely different demographic, and really the focus here is I think we have something unique, and that's before with like token holders. Let's say you kind of had mentioned competitors like OpenSea. If you were, or actually maybe Looks Rare would probably be maybe a better example there. If somebody was kind of like a token holder, either they're kind of one of two categories. They're either a holder or they're collecting some NFTs, making some trades. We have something kind of unique here, and that's that the barrier of entry is very low for anybody to create. We kind of, you were sharing your screen and you were able to kind of show how quickly somebody could just come up with some imagination, spend some time and create something and list an NFT. So we want to kind of like get grassroots exposure there, trying to kind of grow out the community. So we're just going to continue with AMAs, trying to get the information out. We just recently released a Bloomberg a PR news release, and we're kind of taking grassroots efforts there, just kind of grow exposure. And I think by us kind of and the community just going out there and just spreading the word, I'm positive that that's going to be a successful strategy. As well as that. Just last week, we had our first community Guy Art by Spaces, and that's where one of our resident artists, he's a very, very talented and creative mind, Ashu. He ran that Spaces. It was absolutely incredible. Having some artists come up, describe their journey and their creative process. And we were also supporting the artists as well with art buys there, spreading the news and helping them gain exposure. We're not taking that kind of approach where it's like an artist needs like 50,000 followers. We're looking for like new and up and coming AI artists that don't have like a massive sphere of influence, as well as continuing our kind of efforts to do a bit of like a vampire attack on the incumbents and institutions in NFT, like Foundation or Known Origin. We'll be actively looking at engaging with artists that are successful there that want to kind of stand out a little bit, and they are embracing AI art.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. So how is it that I can sit here, create this NFT so quick? Like, do you guys have something set up that a lot of people don't? Because I've worked on these before. I've definitely messed around. How is it that your NFTs can be prompted so quickly? How is that?
I think that's just the magic of our development background. Um, what I would say there is we realized it was critical that users needed to be able to quickly generate and list NFTs, right? Because if you think about it, like there's other platforms where you can mint stuff. There's other platforms where you can make images, but there's really nowhere where you could do it. This is faster than you could generate it somewhere else, download it, upload it, so on and so on. That really is part of the magic here. Is just how quickly, like you're saying, that this can be done.
Yeah, it's literally done within seconds.
Yeah, props to the development team.
Absolutely, and that kind of speaks for.
And I'd like to highlight as we roll out the decentralized computing, there is absolutely a possibility that it will actually be a lot quicker. Right now, the centralized systems like Midjourney, you kind of only get like a certain amount of variations back. But by having a parallelized, distributed computing network, there probably would be a possibility where someone is, under the gun for time. Maybe they got to meet a deadline on creating something. They'd be able to kind of scale that out and send out more jobs so that they would have more variations come back simultaneously than in a centralized system. So that's definitely another advantage of being decentralized.
Yeah, I think just decentralized in a whole aspect right now is where crypto should be staying. We've seen centralized exchanges falling apart lately, and a lot with the depegging of USDC. It kind of scares a lot of people, right? So I think the fact that you guys are aiming your direction towards DeFi is what's going to separate you from the other platforms that are already existing. So me, myself, personally, I'm very bullish on that aspect. And I know you were talking about the same thing with Jay and his community, how they're very bullish on it as well. Crypto shouldn't be centralized, in our opinion. It should say DeFi. It should say for the people, not for the governments.
For sure. And when you look at the current landscape of these AI projects in the Web3 space, really a lot of them are Web2 companies that just happen to have a token, right? And they really aren't, in our opinion at least, embracing some of the fundamentals of a properly decentralized Web3 product.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Web3 is still very early. There's still so much to unlock and to open up through Web3, and like I mentioned before, you guys are ahead of the game already. So I'm excited to see what you guys keep progressing with. I'm just having way too much fun with these NFTs right now.
You gotta list some of these up, man. Like let's get a collection going. I mean, you can also we should mention that you can basically curate your own collections. You can put them all together and in a series there, and if it's great, it'll get featured on the homepage. And who knows, someone might come in and buy a piece of art. And we look at it as, not everybody can be a great artist, but a great artist can come from anywhere. And it's just so true with these AI tools that are just getting better and better.
Actually, that's something I was just going to mention too. You don't need to be artistic to mess around with these NFTs. So if you've ever had like an idea of how you wanted to be like an NFT creator, but you're just not artsy enough is what I'm looking for. Sorry. Artsy enough, you can come on here, put any idea that you possibly think of and generate that image, and then just kind of go with that, alter it a little bit and make your collection. You don't need to focus on having an artist to do it for you. So that's something I really like about your platform and what you're building here, because I have tons of ideas, but to put it on paper, to have like the artistic background, I am not that person, not at all. So I like what you're building here.
Yeah, it really kind of allows, a lot more people to kind of access this. So, we've used the kind of analogy with Spotify. There's so much music on Spotify. I couldn't possibly listen to all of it in my lifetime. And we're kind of seeing that in this like post-modern art world where, yes, this is going to kind of commoditize a lot of it, but it's also going to push us forward and actually, open up a lot more opportunities of different artistic styles. It's quite astute. You actually kind of mentioned something that I haven't really touched on before, but I genuinely feel that there will be a lot of people are, worried about AI saying, hey, it's going to put a lot of people out of jobs. And any major technology advancement that's come, in the past, people have the same fears. And in this particular instance, I already see the kind of field of prompt engineering actually growing. It's still like pretty amazing that anyone can kind of just use natural language and kind of coax something out of it. But there is definitely a skill set. There's some artists that are able to produce some pretty incredible works, and it's only because they have a way, or they've built up the experience on asking the AI to actually produce what they really want. Just highlighting our resident artist Ashu. He in real life he was a poet for 12 years, and he's actually taken the approach of taking his poetry and putting it into the AI to actually produce a new piece of work. And I see a lot of artists doing that in terms of cross discipline. You're already hearing Snoop Dogg kind of like, talking about NFTs. He's like obviously been in the space for a while, but the ability to kind of use these tools to cross over, as nobody's going to doubt that somebody like Snoop has like creative genius. Here, it might allow them to actually kind of cross over into different pieces of media to express themselves, which I think is incredibly exciting.
100%. 100%. I totally agree with that. And that's only like the tip of what you guys are building too. I see a lot of like passive income opportunities here that you guys are also setting up that I totally missed until just now. You guys have staking coming up as well. Is that going to be, so how is the staking going to work? If everyone can create their own collection, how is the staking platform going to work? Because people can pretty much just print out their collection like through the thousands. So how are you going to limit the users from creating unlimited NFTs to staking them?
So the staking would be on the token. We are a little light on the details that we've published at the moment. Part of the reason for that is just with this space moving so quickly, we want to keep our cards a little close, if you know what I mean. That being said, the staking will be more around the image generation and distributed GPU network and securing that part of our product.
Absolutely. That makes sense. That makes sense, because it would just get chaotic if it was more of the NFT backing. So I like that you guys already kind of have that covered, but you're keeping your cards close because you don't want other people to steal that idea. And kind of going off of what you were talking about with your community member, being a poet, I think a lot of like his poetry with his NFT that he's making with these AI videos that you guys have coming up in stage 4, I think that's where a lot of these writers, poets, and stuff like that are going to utilize the AI for the videos. Is that kind of something that you guys had in mind, or is this something totally different and I'm going totally off topic?
It absolutely is. There's already models where you could take music and just let the AI go nuts and build a video out of it. Or vice versa, taking a prompt or a text and describing it and having music come out of it. It's mind blowing. It's so freaking cool.
I've actually seen a bunch of them on TikTok where people are putting these AI bots to work, and they're mixing with, I don't know, Drake with Frank Sinatra. Like, how does that even work? But it actually ends up turning out pretty fire. So, man, I love this. Your website is clean. Your white paper, your roadmap is clean. You guys might want to check this box off.
You bet.
But yeah, I'm loving the direction you guys are going with this. If there's anything that I have missed going through, you guys can go ahead and share that news now. But I think I've pretty much covered everything on your project. But if you want to get in, if there's something I missed, go ahead and share that now.
Yeah, all I can say is, again, low barrier of entry. All we're asking people, it's not your usual shill. It's not like buy. Actually, what we're looking for is people to come to the community, hop on the website, create. Like, the barrier of entry is really low. Engage, have a little bit of fun, play around with the tool. It's there. It's delivered. It's not vaporware. So yeah, come check it out on Generative. I'd like to also kind of open it up. I'm not sure if the community has any like questions, but maybe we can kind of go to that stage.
Yeah. So guys, if you guys have any questions, any ideas that maybe the team wants to hear, or any questions that you may have, go ahead and put your hand up now. I'll unmute you. I've also been told by a good buddy of mine that you guys are trending on CG right now. So if you aren't invested in the project already, guys, you know what that's going to mean. It means that they're getting more eyes on them. So if you're going to invest, I would invest now. Don't take that as financial advice. Just take it as put your money where you're going to make money. But it's still very early in this project. You guys, what was all-time high? Like 4 million?
Yeah.
6 million here? Yeah, so that's a 4x from here. And it's still very early. So being trending on CG is going to get more eyes on you. It's going to bring in more volume. It only makes sense. So go ahead, guys. If you guys have any questions in the community, please raise your hand. I will unmute you.
I got a quick question, Brian.
You absolutely can, Jerry.
Yeah. So just a question. I saw you guys did a KYC already, so it makes some people feel a little bit better about who they're dealing with. But being that you're getting into the marketplace and stuff like that, you're having people connect wallets to your site. What are you guys? What's in the plans for security? Do you have an audit, or are you looking at doing any type of penetrative testing and stuff like that on the DApp itself?
Definitely, we will be doing when we release our staking, and I should say before we do, we definitely will be doing a security audit, a full smart contract audit on that part of our product. In terms of security, coming from AI in commercial aviation space, we definitely have a good grasp on both industry best practices as well as good old do's and don'ts. Yeah.
Okay, good to know. So just more so when you're kind of finished with actually every part of like the DApp and DApp integration, you'll look at doing like a full audit on everything.
On the new parts, yes, on our staking.
Cool. Okay.
And part of that partnership that we have with Solid Proof there, they wouldn't actually do any marketing or any services like contract auditing or anything like that until we actually went through the KYC process. So thanks for highlighting that. We're working at building trust.
Awesome. Thank you.
Good question, Jerry. I kind of missed that part, but it all makes sense. They want to wait until the whole development's done before they do any more of that. But Jay, you had a question too. Go ahead, man. I unmuted you.
Not so much of a question. Just wanted to come say hi. Jay from 100X. Some of you guys know me, some of you don't, but what's up, everybody? Always have a great time listening to these guys speak. I just made a message in my room, just highlighting that, it's when making any sort of decision, doing your due diligence to evaluate the team behind the project is, the most important thing. A lot of people say, the community it is what a project is, and that's true. But it works. It's yin and yang with the team. And I think these guys are just top notch. I couldn't be more impressed with their professional attitudes and the way they handle work and their delivery schedule. And that's why I've been just really happy to jump on board. But more so, I wanted to talk about the NFT marketplace itself and the room for a decentralized aspect in the AI and how just far it could grow. I had a meeting with NFT Miami yesterday. And the girl Alyssa was just asking for ideas where they could go, speakers, topics, stuff like that. And we did get into discussion of GAI, and it's, not saying they're going to attend or anything like that, but we were talking about the current projects there at NFT Miami this week, and then what these guys were doing, and she was thoroughly impressed. There's nobody out there who's building a platform who it's so easy to go there, create, and list. So I just want to point that out there, that there is, like, these guys are at the beginning of their runway, and there's so much upwards room. There's no ceiling for them. There's not a lot of competition. And then, my earlier point, when you have a team who's professional, dedicated, they come from a very successful aviation background with all the coding and stuff that's way over my head. And then you got, an active community who's just thumping away, using the platform every day. It makes for something pretty special. So I couldn't be more excited to see where this goes in the future. And I'm just happy to hear these guys talk. And I think the more and more they get out there, I might suggest a little AMA tour. We might go nationwide with these guys, because the more they get out in front of the mic, it seems like the more they convert people over. So that's about it. Thank you guys, and thanks for your time.
Yeah, thanks, Jay. And I stress that a lot to our community as well, is get in here, listen to these AMAs, don't blind invest. Invest in the people behind the project. And like Jay said, these guys have done a lot, very professional. They've had their development team for over 8 years. They've known each other personally for over 8 years. So if you guys want to invest in like a project that's going to be real, invest in a project that have been together for a long time. These guys have known each other for a while. So I like that. I always look to invest in projects that way. I've also got a question from Justin from Legacy Capital as well. He would like to know if you guys can brag a little bit more about yourselves, kind of like the background, more in depth of like your development, what kind of development you guys have been into. I know you've said that you've been into the AI development for a while, but he's pretty interested on who you guys are as individuals as well. So if you guys don't mind, can you dig a little deeper?
Yeah, for sure. Like we had said, we were both running dev shops. So part of that means going and building a lot of work for other people, right? And through that, over the years, we just had the opportunity to work on many different projects across different industries. So I've worked on everything from as crazy as the spectrum is, restaurant point of sale software to large social media influencer databases, to commercial aviation AI applications, right? It's quite the both a bizarre spectrum and B, like, just, how do you make the jump from one to another? But when you're running a dev shop like that, you're often found through referral, and people just kind of know your reputation for building great products and delivering on them, and they don't necessarily need to see that you've worked on something so similar in the past. They can say, hey, you guys can make these jumps and just kind of learn a new domain when you have to. So we're pretty bullish on that. The feedback we've got in the Web2 space, running a dev shop. ZK, anything to add there?
Yeah. I kind of wanted to highlight that our previous go-to-market strategy, again, it was more in the enterprise background, but from a security perspective, worked on kind of defense projects as well. So we do have experience with navigating those different industries. What we actually were really good at was kind of that intersection of business and technology with the Web2 work. That was kind of our go-to-market. It was finding customers that were subject matter experts in a particular field. So when we kind of mention, say, commercial aviation, for example, it was actually a partnership with an organization that was in aviation, but only from like a kind of like a print type of signage perspective. And they wanted to kind of approach the aviation industry with a solution, but they actually didn't have any technical experience. So we actually facilitated that. That was our go-to-market. We would work with them and develop an agreement where we would license out IP that we actually developed in-house, help them leverage that as tools. And what they would do is just kind of give us the free reign on the technology side of things. We'd scale up the engineering team and build that out so that we go from like a POC stage to actually shipping product to production and helping them kind of get off the ground from a startup perspective. And when it actually kind of scaled out to a certain size, Cobb and I, we love building POCs. We love being on the cutting edge. So when projects kind of get to a stage where it's a bit of kind of like a technology kind of janitor per se, we want to kind of adapt, and that's how we kind of exited that particular business. We provided employees with the ability to sign on with the commercial aviation company. It was a bit of an acqui-hire. Some went over, some we retained, and some of those team members are on this project. And that's kind of how we approach things. On the Web3 side of things, we started off the exact same way. We were kind of working on commercialized products in 2017. There was a lot of hype at that time back then. The real work was kind of like protocol level. And, we still wanted to kind of be immersed in that space, but we didn't want to kind of go out there with a product only because timing wasn't necessarily right. And, we weren't looking at kind of building out any protocol level blockchains. So we were doing the exact same model, working on, various like DeFi projects, NFT space, and would provide fulfillment on development services. So after building up that experience, that's why we decided to kind of go to market with our own product with Generaitiv. We feel that it's right, and we now have like the experience to fully execute on it.
Well, thank you very much for getting the details with that. Justin, I'm probably foaming from the mouth right now. Justin's our in-house dev, so he loves he loves listening to other developers talk, and that's where he kind of invests his money as well, to a development team that actually knows what they're doing and has the capability of growing the actual project. So thanks for answering that, guys. I appreciate it. I'll go through the questions one more time. Guys, if you have any questions, please raise your hand.
I do.
And, go ahead.
Hey, man. How you guys doing?
Great.
Good, man. Hey, I've been playing with the AI and having a blast. I'll be honest. It's super easy to use, and I just love playing with it. But I've seen a lot of the other art, and I feel like I'm missing something. Like maybe I'm doing something wrong to make it come out looking so beautiful as everybody else is. And was wondering if there's like some kind of a sequence or something that could help me whenever you're typing in like something specific. Is there some kind of like sequence, the way you enter that in, that would help a render come out a little cleaner and more just specific to what you're trying to get it to do?
That's a great question, Marcus. And it kind of goes along with that question, if there's going to be fees or anything. We've been actually asking a lot of the AI artists whether or not they want to share their prompts with the community. You'll notice that right now an NFT is minted, and nobody really sees what was kind of like entered to actually create that image. You're highlighting what I kind of mentioned earlier. I think there is going to be a skill set of people that are going to like be experienced and work with different prompts, being able to kind of coax different images out of the system. Even if you Google like prompt engineering or prompt book, you'll actually find like tons of hits where people are selling ebooks on learning how different techniques to actually kind of use. What I would actually suggest And I love that you kind of brought this up because it's a great question. We were talking about different demographics on this talk, and we had token holders primarily being Telegram. Twitter is like big for the artists, but our Discord, I have to say, we're growing that community too, and that would be a great question to ask in our Discord community, because there are artists in there that would be happy to help you. There's just a whole bunch of different things you can ask for, like say you have a prompt, you can ask for it to be photorealistic or have it like anime. So being specific on kind of different art styles, as well as in conjunction with the different models that you're using, is going to kind of produce different outputs.
Very cool, man. Yeah, I'm gonna join your Discord. I have a Discord, and I'm looking forward to maybe somebody sharing that, a little bit.
There's actually AIs out there that will help people with prompts too. So you prompt the AI for a prompt to plug into text to image. So the possibilities are pretty endless.
I didn't even never thought of that. That's great.
Yeah. The old saying goes, a picture's worth 1,000 words. So kind of the better, larger, more specific your prompt is, the better image you're going to get. It works in reverse as well, right?
If only girlfriends were that easy to work with.
Sudo, make a sandwich.
Yeah, give me a list of working commands.
Awesome. And also, guys, Marcus is a good friend of Legacy. He also has his own NFT room. So, Jay, maybe you can reach out to Marcus, or I'll reach out to Marcus, where you guys can be hosted with him as well. It'd probably be pretty beneficial, as his background is mainly NFTs. Thanks for being here, Marcus. Good question, man.
Appreciate you guys. I love what you're doing, man.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Hey, guys, if we don't have any more questions, we're going to start wrapping this up. I just want to say I appreciate you guys coming to our lounge, sharing your project with us. I'm pretty bullish on it, and I know my team is, and I know a couple people here listening are very interested in what you guys are building. So I'm looking forward to seeing how you guys progress through all of this, and I'll be keeping an eye on you. Hopefully, once you guys have more stuff released, you guys can come back for another AMA. We can share it with our community. But yeah, I'm ready to close this up. We can say one thing to our investors from your project. What would it be?
Hey, just keep on creating. Like, it's we're here for the long haul here. This is just the beginning. We didn't release this product and kind of wipe our hands of it. We're just getting started. So even if you play with it, come back, check it out. Our goal is to build out this platform. So there's something long term here.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. And I will pick a winner out of people that have posted their NFTs. I'll give it till 11:30, guys. 11:30 a.m. EST. So that's a half hour from now, wherever you are. You guys keep creating. I'll have the deadline set for a half hour from now, and then my team and I will pick a winner. Remember, the categories or the prompts are monkey, suit, and boardroom. So if you guys can come up with something pretty clever out of that, I'm looking forward to seeing it. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to get ready to wrap this up. Again, appreciate you guys coming down to our boardroom and sharing everything with us. Looking forward to seeing what you guys have coming up soon. Take care, guys.
Hey, thanks so much, Brian. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, absolutely, guys.
Thanks, Brian. Have a good day, guys.
For sure.